why you should stop shallowing the golf club like this out of the top.
Hey guys, Milo and Henry out here at beautiful Superstition Mountain again. And in today's video, we are talking about we call it dishing it out. What's dishing it out mean?
Dishing it out.
It's like a waiter with a tray, and you're not gonna let the tray fall, so you go kind of this way and your right hand gets under too much.
Actually, this would be a good way to show it with a baseball bat. But you can think of it like a waiter tray or a plate. If I had a table down, I was gonna serve you, it'd be like doing this right here. So this would be basically turning my wrist kind of open. So there is supination in the forearm. And we've done a video on the doorknob move.
Pretend that's a door handle. So we can open the door, but the phone is still pointing back at the camera, right?
Right. When we do that this way, you're actually turning your wrist out, okay? And you're losing some amount of extension as you do it.
Yeah, so you're losing, what I really see happening there is you're losing this extension piece.
Yes.
And you're almost going into it like an ulnar, too much ulnar. And
ulnar.
You're going ulnar and the extension's gone.
Right. It didn't start going
If it did that, then the face would be wide open and we'd be really in trouble.
If you look at my wrist angle, there's no extension.
Yes.
So if I had extension,
if you have the extension, then you can make this go like this and not open the face.
So it's like me going like that with the baseball bat. So going this way. So you see how I'm losing some amount of angle between my forearm and the instrument, or the baseball bat in this case.
Yes.
Versus what we're wanting when we're shallowing it out is some amount of that supination, but the angle, if anything, increased. So now you see that bat start to fall back behind me. Okay, it's not getting dished out, as we say. It's not.
So we're not losing the extension. That's the angle that's increasing.
So you can make that move, and yes, you could be shallow. You see that shaft in the club well behind me there. However, look at the face.
Yeah, the face is quite open, and now you're going to have to do some crazy stuff to figure out how to square it up.
Right, so if I turned into the ball from there, you can see that club face is some 45 degrees out to the right. Okay, so now we really got to put on the brakes a little bit or add a lot of arm kind of covering to square up that club face. So there are some great players who have had the face a little open coming in the downswing and are able to match it up. But by and large, for you guys at home who struggle with an open club face, maybe slices with driver, and then maybe pulls with your irons because you're really trying to square that club face up, like that. Let's learn to get the face a little stronger in transition, which we actually find most tour players are actually strengthening it in transition. And how are they doing that, Milo? That's the key, because again, we don't want this dish out move, which we so often see. It's almost like the left wrist extends even more sometimes. I see the right wrist lose extension and the left wrist gain. It's like that. They try to do it, and then it opens the club face like that.
This whole system is being twisted this direction.
Yes.
Where what we want to do is basically twist it the other way. So we're up here, and in transition, we want to feel like we're almost twisting it that direction.
Ooh, that's good. I almost could you could almost hold that for me. That would be like a hold for me to feel that.
Well, I'll twist this way and you twist against me. There you go.
Oh, that's a good one. Okay.
That's the twist you want to feel. We want to feel like we're actually applying a little bit of twist in the transition. And that gets that face prepped and ready to rock and roll, and then we don't have to do nearly as much magic down at the bottom.
Yeah, so again, imagine I dish it out like that. Yeah, it's shallow, it's behind me, the center mass is behind me, but it's making life difficult for me to square it up. And for most of you at home, let's just work to get it square in transition, or even just have it square to begin with and just leave it. But most of you a lot of you are actually opening it in transition, which makes it really, really complicated in our opinion. If we go up to the top, the opposite of that dish out move to shallow it would be to make that more of that doorknob move that we've talked about, where you turn the doorknob.
While we're turning the doorknob, we've got to make sure that we're not losing the extension. So I like to think of it as if my hand was on a wall.
Yes.
Palm on the wall, I just want to let my fingers run down the wall, not through the wall.
Exactly. So actually a good visual we gave before Milo in that doorknob video was using your phone, and how normally when we would make that dish out sort of casty move, you see that phone gets kind of, the face of it gets pointed out towards
this way,
ball line. If we're doing it correctly, I want the face of that phone to actually get more, slightly more skyward and back.
Yeah.
So that would be leaving the face or even strengthening it just slightly. Now, do we need it to go crazy? No. A lot of this should happen just with our transition.
Should.
Okay? We don't need a gigantic shallowing move unless you're like way across the line and stuff.
Yeah.
But
just depends on where you're coming from.
Let's just say we're relatively neutral.
Then it doesn't need to do much.
You really could just feel like you leave it, but the torque put on that shaft, we want it to be going this way. We don't want to be adding some opening element.
No opening elements.
So let's do a good one where I go up to the top, and I'm gonna feel like I'm gonna do a freezer, and I'm gonna add a little bit of this in transition. Kind of that feel you gave me where you held me. Yeah. I gotta add a little bit of that twist. So now it feels like my right arm goes a little under my left, and I add a little extension in my wrist, so it's going that way. So you see that club lay down, but not lose the face. It's not going that way. If anything, it's getting, the face is getting a little more back towards you guys in the camera.
Yep.
And now I'm just gonna feel that delivery. That face is loaded and ready to go, where I can just chip one out there and go straight, okay?
Perfect.
So Milo, another great drill or tool they can use to feel this is the hanger, and we've used this plenty of times before. What I like about this for this shallowing move is that you have to really feel like it strengthens in transition, or else you're not going to get it.
You almost have to feel like you're trying to push the rail of the hanger through your left arm.
So at setup, we kind of start with it up the right arm, and our face isn't quite matching. We've talked about this before. On our website, we talk about the setup a little bit more, but for now, let's just focus on what we're talking about here in transition. So we go up to the top, it's gonna go from my right forearm to my left arm. So you see that rail, it's gonna go from here to here, okay? So if I go up to the top, so now it's relatively on my left arm. Maybe it's slightly off, who knows? Depends on the player.
Depends on the player.
Okay? But in transition, we want you guys to feel like it goes more into that left arm. So it's pushing into that left arm.
Yes.
You see when that gets pushed up, where's the club go? It goes down and back, but the face stays solid. If I were to go shallow it but move off the rail, you see that face starts to open.
Yes.
Now the railing goes towards my right arm.
So this training aid can give you the feeling of twisting that shaft like I twisted the shaft for you.
Yep.
It can help you feel how to do that.
Yep. And I really feel that bar, that rail up in my left forearm. Now that face is square and loaded up, ready to go. I can put my hand here and go like that all the way back to the ball so it goes out straight. That pressure of that rail in my left arm is what I want to feel in transition and all the way through impact. This is actually a really hard unit to use. It takes time, but it's very effective in bringing about the wrist conditions we want.
Oh yeah.
So it really tests you. It's good. So let's go up to the top. I'm going to do that freezer where I add that doorknob feel. Boom. Now I'm loaded up. I feel it against my left arm. So I got that feedback I need. I go, and now I can make some rehearsals down to the ball. Let's get up there again here. Chip some out. So that was pretty nice and straight.
That was a good one.
Okay.
Yep.
And you're not looking to hit these hard at first. You see how short that went.
Yeah, I generally don't like to hit it hard with the hanger.
No. To me, I'm hitting max 60-70% of my distance. But it's a really nice way to get the wrist conditions. For somebody that's been this way, their whole life, this is just completely different, and it's just night and day.
Yep.
You know. Okay. Not bad. Let me hit one more. Pretty good. Just a little cut.
And it blocks you, so it's almost impossible to overdo it with the hanger on.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's hard.
Yeah, you gotta really feel like you're putting a significant twist on it. Now, if I take that away, those are going to turn left, which
Yes.
for most players
Would be nice.
would be nice because they don't ever see the ball turn left.
Okay, let's do one more here. I'm going to try a little bit more of a flighty blower. Okay, so you see it's still starting a little out to the right, making it difficult for me.
It's slightly blocking you, not
Yes.
letting you get it all the way back square.
And the thing with training aids is they're not necessarily meant to be easy.
And they're not necessarily meant for you to hit perfect shots.
I think a lot of people get training aids and they're like, oh, this is too hard, I don't like it. Well, it's supposed to be hard.
Yeah, it's supposed to challenge you.
Let's see if I can get that right wrist extended. I might even see a little bow in that left wrist now with all that motion I've been working on. So I'm gonna still feel there. Ooh, that makes it feel like, now it just feels like the club's dropping back.
Oh, yeah.
I don't even have to do anything. Oh man, it goes left. You're right.
I told you, the first one, because now when you have that hanger on, you're putting so much twist into your left
Yeah.
forearm.
It literally felt like I did nothing. It went woo.
Yeah.
So that's a really cool feel. I actually really like that tool for bringing about those changes. And you can actually do some holds up there, call these isometric holds, where you basically hold it. And what you did was you turned it the other way.
Yeah, I made you
make
fight me.
To make it challenging.
Yes.
So you can do some cool stuff with that hanger. And we really recommend it if you guys are dishing it out and opening that club face, because the club face is king. We got to get that thing squared up a little bit better.
For sure. To summarize, let's stop dishing it out.
Don't
Let's
dish
make
it
sure
out.
we're squaring that face early, and we're going to hit more quality shots like that. Okay.
You bet.
Hopefully you guys liked this video. If you did, hit the like and subscribe. We've got awesome content coming out every week. And come visit us at milolinesgolf.com, where we give you the personalized coaching you need to take your game to the next level.
Thanks, everyone.
Okay.
That was cool. I actually really...
I told you, well, when I use the hanger, I feel like I have to twist so much more than I really do.
That was like...
Which is good, though, because most people don't put enough twist in it.
Well, it felt like after the end, I just went, whoa, whoa. Now I got a little draw going.
Well, most people would die for that little draw.